So I may or may not have forgotten to unclick the mute button. That's on me. That's a skill issue. Yeah, I make it look easy, but it's, do anything for 20 plus years for 6 to 8 hours a day. Yeah, and you're gonna make it look easy. I'm the first one to tell you I've been there on the other end of all of this when I didn't know how to do anything. Yeah, it's just a whole lot of grind. I wasn't what you might call a talented child. I was just a broke one, so pencils were cheap. Thanks, Sean. Morning, Mikla. And also, hi, hello, and morning to everybody else, and good afternoon, good evening, and all that stuff. Said all that, but yeah, doesn't help when your mic is muted. I went and skill issued myself. Bless you. Thanks, Lost Mine. I'm gonna finish this today. That's the plan, and I plan on sticking to it. Thanks, no Dracula. It's getting there. Needs about like 3 or so more hours of work. And it's gonna be done. Basically, I gotta detail the zombie things, creatures here. Then I gotta draw the background buildings, because they're not a big problem, because they're gonna be kind of out of focus. Gotta render out Sarah's hair, do some highlights, finish off Nottingham and Irons, and yeah, it's gonna be that. Yeah, it's been kind of shelved for a long time as well. The book stopped publishing a bunch of years ago, and then recently they've kind of restarted the whole thing, and it's been doing well. So they asked me to do a trade paperback wraparound cover for it, because I do have a very long history with the title. I'm actually officially the longest running artist on it. Not perhaps the best, because I'll be the first one to say that my run was an uneven journey. But that's what happens when you spend most of it trying to figure out what do you want to do stylistically with your art. Never even occurred to me to just do things my own way. It took Sunstone to fucking convince me that that might be a good idea. But it is what it is. Yeah. When I started working on Witchblade, my style was basically me trying to adjust my way of drawing so that it would fit more to what was popular at the time, which just is not a good idea, you know? Because when you try to turn your own way of drawing into somebody else's, it's like trying to write with another person's handwriting. Like, you can do it, but it requires way more concentration than just doing things your way. And over time, that concentration slips and things stop looking as good as you got them to look because, well, it's not a natural approach for you to do it that way. So, my work at the time was kind of all over the place. There were good issues, there were great issues, but then there was just absolute dumpster fire issues. Not for the lack of trying, though. I was just very insecure and unsure of my own work at the time. So I kept experimenting, kept trying to find something different that would make it work. What do I think of Photoshop 2024 or CS, or is CS3 better? Photoshop 2024 is very heavy on your computer. They force stuff into it that as a digital illustrator you generally don't need. It is a sluggish program. It is a program that's done by a company that has kind of over time really lost its way. And I don't like it. I used to have it, found the thing useless, and turned back to my own to my old one. Because like for a digital illustrator, for me, CS3 is very light. That's what I like about it. It works on all of my laptop and on everything, you know. And CS6 would basically be their kind of a peak, honestly, because CS6 also has larger brushes, it has larger liquify, it's just a, you know, overall, and it can use more memory from your computer. It actually recognizes the problem. CS3 is like, it doesn't even recognize the full memory of your computer, and yet ironically works way better than your one, so go figure. Generally, these days I'm actually working on just completely abandoning Photoshop altogether. The only reason why I'm using it a lot on this piece is because most of my stuff that I use to make Witchblade's armor are methods that I've developed over time through use of Photoshop's layers, styles, and stuff like that, which unfortunately my new favorite program doesn't have yet, so that's why I'm on this right now. But generally, like, I've been very much leaning towards moving to Clip Studio, and I will be giving the what's it called, Affinity Photo to a try very soon. As soon as I'm done with the month's work, and I have like a, you know, a moment of time where I could just yeah, kind of unwind and try it out a little bit. Because right now it's the end of month deadlines, and that's generally where I don't like fucking around with other stuff. I just want to get the job done. Because it's very easy to kind of let yourself slip. Yeah, go, oh, maybe, yeah, I'll be late on this month, and then I'll be late on that month, and then you're playing catch up constantly. And the only catch up that I like is on my eggs, because I'm a fucking savage. Yeah, CS3 is less demanding. Because the sad part is with the new Photoshops is they haven't really been adding anything useful to an illustrator. to a comic creator to another. There's like most of it's like there are very very few things that they added that like have a sort of a use. Like you have to be such a specific user of Photoshop to make use of any of the newer options where you're just like it's like, oh, there's this type of selection through channels, through this, through that, through the other, which generally like you have to be in a very very specific situation to ever find any use for that. I never did, so for me never had the need to move. Like I used to pay subscription just because I was hoping, hey, they're gonna add something useful, Plus, I was paying it to my own company, so it's a tax deductible for me. But yeah, it's not something that I would actively recommend anymore, unfortunately. There was a time where I used to really vouch for the product, but these days, because this guy is just one of the I don't even know what they are. They look like some sort of like charred zombies. I know that they're in a comic. I haven't had the chance to read it yet because I don't really have a chance to read anything. I'm too busy writing. It's the sad part of this. Like when you get really fucking successful with this stuff, like, and you just kind of start going project after project, like you really don't have the time to actually sit down and just enjoy somebody else's work. No matter how much I love it, it's just doesn't. It's just no time. Hey, John. didn't even stand a chance there. Gets the book yoinked. Amazing. I get that. No, last time you saw me, I wasn't using new Photoshop. I was using Clip Studio Pro. Oh, sorry, Clip Studio Paint. Who's gonna remember all these fucking names? Last time you saw me, I was working on this program. I jump between them two. Actually, I don't need this now. Okay, where is it? Back to the... Where is it? This one. Okay. Yeah. I just always save the full Clip Studio usually. Well, minus the paint. Yeah, it's a great irony. I love horror. I love drawing horror. I don't think I'm ever going to create a proper horror comic. Just because I don't have it in, like, I don't have what it takes to actually pace out and write a horror. Because horror in a comic is a fucking skill set, and I don't have that. I can draw a scary, creepy thing, no problem, but yeah, telling a genuinely terrifying story in a comic format is that's a skill set I don't possess. Yeah, Zebras doesn't have it for now. 2 months later, Max will be like, presenting new edition. It's called ZBrush Pro. Son of a bitch. No, I don't. I don't want to use something from a like. There's more to creativity than just you know looking for inspiration in other things. Lord knows I've done more than enough of that. Like if I ever was to make a horror, like I would like to make something relatively new. Like sure, the originality is a moot point at this stage of human creativity, but at least to a degree. Like Lovecraft has been chewed to death by everybody, and that includes me. Like fucking Death Vigil has more than enough Lovecraft in it to fucking last me a lifetime. Like Volume 2 adds literally freaking, what's it called, King in Yellow as one of the main villains. That perfume was messed up.
Oh yes.
Linda in the background. Oh yes.
Like I don't remember many movies, but that's what I do.
Yeah. Well, one of the big tricks to monsters is actually drawing gums. I know it's weird, but it does so much for the believability of monster when you actually give its teeth gums. Like even in this stage you hear where it's like they're the same color as the skin. Like it just roots the teeth, makes the jaw seems more functional and terrifying. You know, and everything else is just yeah, try and use references from things that exist. You know, Frankenstein that shit together. yeah, the problem with horror in comics is like you're never more painfully aware, or you're never made more painfully aware of just how dependent horror is to sound and movement than when you're trying to, you know, do it in a whole comic format. Now, there are workarounds for that, right? There are ways to surprise the reader. One of the famous ones is, you know, the example of Junji Ito's trick, where he will use the page turn as a sort of a jump scare. You know, it's like, yo, you get the build up until the end of the right page, you flip around and boom, you know. So that works, but horror really is, you know, it's one of those things where, like, uh, the biggest really weakness of horror comes to pops out when you start explaining it. Like, this is why, you know, the cosmic horror, the fucking unexplainable horror tends to work best in these things, because at at no point do you allow the creatures, the monsters, the hauntings, whatever the fuck is happening, to be explained, which, you know, it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be unsettling. Like, that's one of the big, you know, specificities of horror is it works better when, you know, the worse you explain it, the better it works. Like, again, Junji Ito is a perfect example, because like most of his stuff is just shit happens. Why? I don't know, but it's happening. Oh God, recently I watched the Uzumaki, his Spiral manga anime that was made. Jesus Christ. That man just can't catch a break with a good adaptation. Like, Uzumaki isn't terrible, but like, episode 1, genuine effort and funding. Episode 2, Jesus Christ, the quality drop off. Like, holy shit. Like, it's not a slideshow, but there are moments, okay? Like, there are fucking hell. There's a scene in episode 4 that just had me laughing when it was supposed to be terrifying. Bless you. Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, it's not a, like, it did a good job of, you know, adapting the manga as an adaptation. It works. It's just that the animation quality takes such a drastic nosedive from episode 1 to the other 3 episodes. It's just, oof, damn shame. Because for once he almost had a perfect one, yeah. Because so far, whatever they try to do animes from his work, it's been questionable in quality, to say the least. File open. Have I watched Jujutsu Kaisen? I've seen like the first 2 or 3 episodes. I wasn't really, didn't really click for me. Like it's great, but yeah, like it's great. Like in quality, it just didn't grab me in the story. The Smiling Woman, is it for Magic the Gathering? No, I'm just doing a Cenobite design for fun of it. It's an older thing that I found on my uh, hard disk and was like, oh, okay, I actually kind of cooked, so I decided I was gonna do more work on it, just because fuck it. Very rarely I will commit to a fan art these days because I just don't have the time, but you know, it does happen at times. Okay. Stuff. Oh, okay. I'm like, what the fuck? Why is there so much paint? Literally increased amount of paint last time. Okay, there's something wrong. Just gonna restart Clip Studio. Hey, Ferret. Draw. File. Recent. Which plate? Okay. That's under. Just delete all of these. Back up. Delete you. Yeah, I work in Clip Studio and Photoshop. Soon I'm also gonna give Affinity Photo a try. It seems like a very kind of a one-to-one Photoshop clone program. So we'll see. That one works. I can just ditch Photoshop altogether because like the old Photoshop still like it doesn't recognize the computer it's on technically. Like so it's like yeah, you're never really working with the power of the computer that you have. You're just working with you know it's it's like with the imaginary stats of some times long gone computer. Clip Studio is much stronger for blocking out stuff just because of its color mixing technology. It gives a very painterly, cool look to things. Is it possible to transfer all the settings? Not all the settings. You can transfer brushes, you can transfer some stuff, but you can't do settings just because Clip Studio doesn't have a lot of the stuff that Photoshop does because it's a different beast altogether. It's a more of a painter, illustrator, comic artist program, but it doesn't have some very important functions such as layer settings. Layer styles are a massive thing, and unfortunately, Clip Studio doesn't have those yet. And the operative word here is yet because they do have a track record of adding stuff as they go. So, yeah, I won't be surprised that one day I wake up and Linda's like, yo, use. See, I just got. Hey, Pato. Now, the color mix is very cool. Does the name A-Wind Earl ring any bells for me? No, but I'm beyond terrible with names, so. There are people who I've known for years that their names just elude me because I live in fucking imaginary worlds at this point. Okay, shit, now I gotta go to. He's a dead Disney artist, okay. Let me see, I gotta go to Twitch to actually. Okay. Yeah, it's very cool stuff. I think I've seen some of his stuff in like, I don't know, like I'm pretty sure I've seen some of stuff that looks like that in what was it called? What was it called? The Art of Frozen. Because I remember back when Frozen just came out, I actually bought an art book for that because I really liked the aesthetics of the movie. And there were a lot of like environmental sketches that looked very much in that style. Now, whether or not that was his work or people carrying on with the inspiration and influences, can't say. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I see Sleeping Beauty definitely. I definitely see that now. I remember that. Yeah, Nemesis. Yeah, there's a lot of these indie games that tend to be very, very good in the art department because, like, they're not afraid of actually doing something new. And it's very nice to see when people actually respond to that. Oh yeah. And then I watched that review last night. I'm like, oh hey, cool. Skill Up made a review for Veilguard. Just immediately when I saw the title, I do not recommend it. I'm like, oh dear Christ. Then I saw the length of the video. Oh dear heavenly Christ. I clicked on the video, showed the video to Linda. She clicked on the video, and then there was just an hour or so of us going like,
Yeah, similar to
damn.
mine, but I need to see it for myself.
Yep. But that whole thing about the safe writing, oh my god, like that's
I played it 3 times. I
damn.
finished it 3 times, so
Yeah.
I think I owe it to play this one.
Yeah, safe writing, as in there's no conflict towards anybody. At most, they can be slightly, how's one, slightly rude to each other, and that's about it. Like, I'm like, holy shit, like, what the fuck happened? God damn it. That was sad. Like, I used to love Dragon Age, but I just, I'm actually now feeling kind of lucky. I couldn't stomach Dragon Age 3, Inquisition. Not because there was anything necessarily wrong with the game, but because I still to this day hold this opinion. I don't think Dragon Age works as a full open world game because it gives you too much junk quests, too much random fucking around and wandering and not following the story. Because Dragon Age, its greatest strength has always been, and the point of its longevity has always been, the replayability, the ability to play and witness the consequences of your actions, and then you play again and you take different choices and see the consequences of that, and different romances and different pathways, that's what made Dragon Age special to me. Turning Dragon Age into just another fucking bloatware, a mile wide, a centimeter freaking, an inch deep, fucking uh, space is just is nothing. It's just bored. It bored me out of my mind like fucking half an hour in. I'm like, I'm already bored. Oh, good. Oh, you put crafting in Dragon Age so that I can go and pick plants and flowers. All right, yeah, fucking sure. Yep. Yeah, the third one is basically they turned it into Skyrim in third person, which technically you can already play Skyrim in third person. So there, Skyrim with chatterier freaking followers, and you can fuck the followers. I guess there you go. I don't know. I wasn't a fan of it at all, so I never finished it. Never got into it. So by the time, you know, initially Dreadwolf was announced, I was already detached from all of it. Then came to Veilguard, and like, I was hoping for them to make a good game. Like, because if Dragon Age was good, that gave me hope for the next Mass Effect installation that they were kind of, constantly bringing in the little teasers of, ooh, look, it's an N7 armor. Could this be Shepard coming back? I think it's Shepard coming back. So, gave me hope to at least, you know, maybe that's gonna be the big comeback. Hell, I would have been happy with the return of Anthem. I actually loved Anthem. I just hated that Anthem had no fucking endgame. But overall, I really, really loved the game. Like, it was a fun game that kinda lacked the it lacked the lessons that could have been easily learned if they paid attention to the competition at the time, but they were very stubborn and said it was forbidden to play or even talk about Destiny in the office, apparently according to interviews. So they never really understood what got people attached and addicted to Destiny, so they completely missed the point of it. Delivered yet another MMO style freaking, co-op game that had no end game. Well done. Hey, guys, yeah, exactly. Anthem didn't know what it wanted to be. It knew it wanted to be a looter shooter, but didn't know what made a looter shooter tick. They had a great fucking fight combat style that could be expanded upon and elaborated upon. They had really cool weapons. They had really cool skill sets on the freaking suits. Bless you. There was so much potential. I actually loved the story. I was actually very invested. I liked the characters. The whole thing was intriguing and interesting to me. And then, you know, nothing. A big old pile of nothing. What's the end game? See these two strongholds? Yeah, that's the end game. Just do them over and over and over and over and over and over and go. Again, it's like, yeah, there we go. So yeah, I was actually very much hoping that Veilguard was gonna be a success, but unfortunately, seems like that one's gonna be not that good. Because like, if there's one person whose opinions I've learned to absolutely trust with games, it's Skill Up. Even though the man has no fucking taste when it comes to MMOs and still refuses to give Guild Wars the time of day, the absolute Philistine. But now, joking aside, that's what Austin is there for, and he is the superior gamer. But no, like I actually really, really love his reviews because dude is so fucking like he's he's got his feet firmly planted on the ground. He's focused on giving a legitimate review to every game, and he actually fucking just actually plays them properly and goes through them and tells you, listen, this is what's good about it, this is what's not. And the problem is, man, that Veilguard review. Oof, I felt like in that episode of Simpsons. Stop it! It's already dead. Yeah, I love Warframe as well, but haven't had the chance to get back into it because at some point, like I've gotten to the end of what was available, kind of got everything that I needed, and there was nothing for me to chase. And then after that, dropped the game for a while, and now there's a fuck ton of stuff. So at some point, when I feel like it, I'm just gonna go back in and just start catching up. I just have to be in the mood for it. I mean, there was never going to be too much of an encounter design in their standard levels because their standard levels are basically randomly generated. They're basically like Diablo 2 dungeons, you know. But yeah, they have been improving on that as well. So, and like I love it that they've never kind of lacked the courage to just kind of go just off-brand and get creative with like freaking different ways of playing the game. Like I'll give them that. Nothing but praise for that. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the essence of Warframe. Like grind is kind of part of the deal, you know. Like sure you can skip it all, but just paying a bunch of money and hell, given how many freaking discounts they get for that for their currency, like that's not even remotely as much as some other games would have you spend. Yeah, I know. I get that, Archonauts, and I agree. Does Final Fantasy XIV have any kind of story to it? Oh dear heavenly Christ! Oh sweet merciful Jesus! Final Fantasy XIV has story on story on story on story. That's a story with a gameplay slightly attached to it, okay? Like, you don't understand. There is so much story in Final Fantasy XIV that's just holy shit. I wasn't ready, okay? I got into it, right? And like, I've been playing Guild Wars. Guild Wars 2 has a really good balance of story and just pure gameplay content, like shit to do, right? Final Fantasy XIV is not like that. Final Fantasy XIV is like, oh, you want to do a thing? Yeah, you gotta keep playing the story. Oh, what's that? You want to play some dungeons? Yeah, that's later in the story. What's that? You want to play the raid? We're gonna need you to finish the expansion. And it's like, oh, you want to play the next raid? Guess what? It's very good. Like I highly, highly, highly recommend Final Fantasy XIV. Their free to play fucking thing is insane. Like Jesus, wow! Like it's actually ridiculous. Like you can right now download it and play so much. Like their first vanilla base game is it's good. It's fine. Like it's not their best work. Immediately after that, just goes banger after banger. And I mean, like, so of some of the best, like Final Fantasy XIV story-wise, in its quality, in the way it delivers it, in the way it's structured, in the way the characters are written, is better than any other Final Fantasy game, and I stand by that. It's not just hey cardboard cutout characters of oh here's your gloomy boy. He's not gonna say a word through the whole thing. He's just gonna be grumpy. It's like you technically won't say a word through the whole thing, but your character is not a fucking asshole. And characters around you aren't fucking assholes. They're genuinely layered and fun and interesting and at times absolutely fucking hilarious. Like it's one of those few games that I just have nothing but the highest recommendations for. Yeah, Destiny is excellent, but Destiny is one of those games that I can never consciously and with a clear conscience recommend to anybody because Bungie fucking disabled me from doing so. What am I gonna do? It's like, oh yeah, join Destiny. You're gonna love it. No, you won't. You won't fucking know what the fuck is happening because Bungie, in their brilliance, removed the whole ass goddamn story of the game. They've removed 5 years of story line almost and expect you to drop in the last three expansions and expect you to get invested. You won't. Like, what am I supposed to do? Hey, here's some videos from this guy. My name is Bife. Okay, here's his 10 plus hour video that's going to explain to you the entire story of Destiny up until this expansion, and then you get to play the game. You know, it's like, it's idiocy of the highest order. Like, the worst decision making I've ever seen a company do about their own game. It's like basically you built a massive ship and you had this wonderful ramp and people were onboarding. People from the ship were like, come on, join us, it's great here, woohoo. And at some point the captain goes like, you know what? You know what's ugly on this ship? What? This ramp that people are using to climb up. We're gonna remove that. And that's Destiny. And now they're wondering why they're fucking bleeding players. I was like, here's the thing. You're bleeding, right? Now when a person is bleeding, what you need is an infusion of new blood. Which you can't do because you refuse to do that. And now we're in this fucked up situation where Destiny is technically pretty much the best it's ever been, and constantly in this weird we're so back, it's all over, we're so back, it's all over mentality that's just exhausting. Yeah, I'm still mad about them killing off their entire core story. I cannot fucking recommend a game that I absolutely adore. Like, I'm playing this game with two of my most hardcore friends that are still around fucking playing it, you know? Like, I have a few more, but they're in a different team, so they already have a six-man team. We have the three of us here. It would be ideal if there were six of us, but people left the game. So now we have our Grandmaster Nightfall every season team. We have our, just basic three-man activities team, our dungeons team. Everything else we constantly have to LFG. Why? Because people left the game. Because Bungie did a piss poor job at giving people an onboarding ramp, so you can't really replace those that left. So there it is. Destiny isn't freeware. Destiny is it's a buy to play, but it's like buy to play. It's like the buy that I would never fucking recommend. And that's the sad part. Because I'll be the first one to tell you, some of the most emotionally charged moments I've had in gaming were in the fucking Final Shape expansion. Jesus Christ, I cried like a little child. And at the same time, I can't recommend it. The new seasonal content dropped a few weeks ago, and the story starts, and it's a very short kind of a content, but fine, there's stuff to do. But there's this cutscene, right? And me and my friends, we are fucking hyped, right? We're like, oh my god, this is so cool. And it just, I'm like, yeah. And you let anybody who wasn't there since the beginning of the frickin', since at least frickin', what's it called, Forsaken, like, if a person wasn't there for Forsaken, they don't fucking know what just happened. They don't know why this is cool. They don't know who these guys are. Why should they care? Hell, fucking people entering Final Shape and going like, oh my god, Kate 6, and they're like, who? You know? It's just that whole company is literally suicide by bad decisions. But the funny part is like their Crucible is actually brilliant. It is fun. I am not a fucking PvPer in any game, like, because I just couldn't care less. Like, it bores me most of the time, except in Destiny. Destiny's PvP is genuinely fun, and you can see yourself get better at it. I went from somebody who couldn't fucking properly aim to somebody who can hold his own in a Crucible. I'm not gonna fucking, outkill goddamn elite YouTube streamers, although there was this one time when I just slapped one of them to death. Which is just, after that, I was just like, yeah, I peaked. It was the weirdest shit. Because my friends and I went to trials. It's like the competitive mode, and got teamed against like the absolute, like, those streamer sweat lords, like one of the biggest ones. And we're like, wow, we are gonna get stomped. And he goes around the corner, down. Uh, I love that game. Like, it's just sad that I can't, you know, I can't in good conscience recommend it, and that's the fucked up part. Like, I would love, like, the smartest decision these idiots could make is take the story content, turn it into a single player kind of instance to instance playthrough for people to actually be able to download as a separate thing. If you don't want it to be combined with the rest of the game because it's big, fine. Have it be its own download that you can download. You can play through the game. You can, as you're playing through, you make an account for it. You may, as you play through it, you get weapons, you get exotics, you catch up on all the content, and you catch up on the gear that's given through that content through those seasons. When you hit the end of it, you get basically an activation code that basically transfers all of that to your proper in-game account, and you continue playing Destiny from there on. Like, there you go. There, you didn't want to do the whole stockpiling of content because it's too much. Okay, fine. There, do a separated thing. Instance that shit. Do something with it. Hell, Guild Wars had that problem once. They fixed it. They did exactly that. They were like, there was one specific season of their content that wasn't in the game because initially they didn't plan for those things to be a thing that stays in the game because they were very new. It was like fucking, what, 15 years ago almost. So they didn't know how to handle it. Then second season onward, it was content that remained. It was instance content. But through the entirety of the game, there was still that missing link. People didn't know what happened. People didn't know why they should care for Scarlet Briar. Who the fuck that was that? What the hell happened in Lion's Arch? What's the big drill that's there? Like, I didn't know because I wasn't there for that content. And these maniacs went and actually went like, yeah, we rebuilt season one from scratch, turned it into instant content, gave you special challenges, and gave you a special strike to go with that. Completely free. There you go. And my jaw dropped. I'm like, there you go. Now I can, with whole heart. The games that I always can recommend are Guild Wars 2, Final Fantasy 14, because those games and Warframe. Those are the games that maintain their content. Their content is in the game. You get to play it. You get to fucking understand what you just had, what just happened there. There you go. Simple as that. They put all of it basically, all of it that was in any way relevant that could be put into the game, and the story is now coherent. You understand what the fuck happened. You have no problem, and they added additional stuff into it just so that you actually have more than just the basic season, which, holy shit. Like, you get all the achievements for that. You literally get the key to so that you can re-instance not into the normal Lion's Arch that's in the game right now, but into the original Lion's Arch. And I have that key. It's insane. Like, they put in all of the effort. I got nothing but praise for that. Yeah, yeah, exactly. The only one they're missing is the Kanak introduction mission. They did put that into the, what's it called, into Oreen's memories pool. But I understand why that one was impossible, because that one specifically was connected to the Karka outbreak in the South Sun Cove. So that one was basically the entire thing was open world stuff, and then just that like one little thing. Yeah, it's the thing with like the memory pool where you can do some old missions. They actually have some of the missions that they ended up returning into the game. Don't worry about it, Eric. Guild Wars is a action-based MMORPG. It's one of the absolute best on the markets and one of the absolute fairest ones. Yeah, I freaking adore Guild Wars. The only one that I haven't played yet fully is the Jantir Wilds right now, just because I literally didn't have the time. I'm literally like, every moment of free time when I can, I just jump in and say, okay, I'm gonna do a few missions. All right, gotta go back to work. Shit. But I think I'm gonna be back into it a bit more once the new raid releases. It's been a while since we've gotten an actual raid. Like, strikes are nice and all that, but I prefer a raid. Something about the structure of a raid just, yeah, it makes it feel like, it's a raid. Yeah, no, fucking MMOs are time devourers. You do not start an MMO if you're low on time. Like that's just bad decision making. Now, for me, when I started playing these games, I had way more time. So, over time, like I've figured out ways how to play them and how to, how to do things way faster. It's like it started from, it's like I'll figure it out on my own to literally every tutorial for everything. It's like, oh, a new method how to do this. Let's go. Start min-maxing like a goddamn maniac. Yeah, so far I've loved Gentir. I've just finished the first zone there. So surprisingly, it actually got me off of my fucking rifle mechanist. Machinist. I've been also playing too much Final Fantasy 14. There I'm pretty much maining either a Reaper or a Machinist, and in Guild Wars I'm either on my Mechanist or on my Warrior. Just love the absolute just zero fucks given survivability of a Mechanist. Just like, oh, there's a champion, no problem, I'll solo that shit, fuck it. Just like back in the days, like there's a champion. I'm gonna need an old priest, a young priest, and a choir of people to help me take this thing down. Now it's like, oh, a champion. Oh, cool. Let's go. Yeah, Rifle Mechanist is just so comfortable to play. Plus, it brings so much CC. Holy shit. The crowd control on that thing is like, oh, I see you have a break bar. Not for long, buddy. I see Eric. Yeah, Scourge is good. I'm a big fan of the Reaper, though. Yeah, I'm playing a Reaper Machinist and a Reaper Mechanist. But yeah, Reaper is also very cool. Like I love playing that class on a Necro. Because, big sword go burr, decapitate. I haven't tried the twin sword. Listen, it's like literally one of the two classes that lets me properly go bananas with a great sword. I was like, it's that or warrior. Oh man, although I gotta try the Hammer Guardian now. Apparently that thing is absolutely fucking stupid. It's like, oh, hey, how would you like to do 30k DPS? Okay, what do I need to do? Press this one button. Okay, and then what? I don't know, just, auto attack with that one button, stand still, I don't know. It's just, what? Like, that's gonna get fucking bonked. The Hammer Guardian's gonna get the hammer. Also, I can't wait for them to release the new legendary spear. It is funny though that after all these years after making the freaking shark spear legendary for the underwater, because I literally had nothing else to make at that point, and now I'm like, it was fucking worth it. I'm running around the world on my mechanist just spearing. The spear on the mechanist is fucking ridiculous. Yeah, I think I have like over 80 legendaries at this point. I'm very close to having pretty much every legendary in the game. The only ones that I don't think I'm ever gonna go for are all of the World vs. World armors. I've made some of them. I don't think I'm gonna go for all of them just because the sheer amount of World vs. World that I would still need because I've already made 2 World vs. World rings. I've made the back piece. I've made some armor pieces. I'm not gonna go for all of those. I'm also not gonna go for all of the new open world armors. I was going to, but then I saw them and I found them ugly. It just literally was like, I have the parts. I can craft at least a full set of them and have enough for half of another. I made one chest piece. I looked at it and I'm like, this looked so much better in concept. Plus, like the only class where I could see myself using that thing was basically any of the medium armor classes, cause the raid armor for medium, damn, it's like they were cooking on the heavy, they were fucking cooking on the light armor, and then came the medium armor, and I made it for the title because it made it easier to go into raid groups and end game content groups, because at the time, if you walked in and you had the Envoy's Herald armor, like you didn't have to ping legendary insights and shit like that, because European servers were at the time just cancerous. But yeah, I literally made that final set just for the title. Funny thing is, it's easier and less expensive to make the raid ones, especially now. Like these raids are a joke. Like funny thing is, like, because over time they've been adding so many of the raid bosses and their mechanics into kind of into the open world content, to the point where it's like you're playing against some champion, you're like, what is this? And I'm like, yeah, you're gonna learn what this is. This shit's in the raid. Yeah, power creep has just, Jesus Christ. Like, when I was learning how to do Doom with an entire guild that focused on doing raid trainings, it's called the Raid Training Initiative. Like, getting Doom down at the time was like, it was 3 to 4 to 5 sessions kind of a thing, until everybody was skilled enough and knew their positioning and knew what to do to kill Doom. One of my Destiny friends well, both of them kind of got into Guild Wars, but one of them really got into Guild Wars. So he wanted to go into raiding for the armors, right? His first run of Doom was this: me on Discord, watching him streaming and just going like, okay, you're gonna want to follow the tank now. You're gonna go to the wall. Just stay back to the Doom. Okay, you got the bombs. You're gonna want to walk away to the northeast side of the room. All right, northwest side of the room. No, northeast side of the room. Yeah. Now you wait until the bomb explodes. Run back. All right, good. Now he's gonna do the suck. Turn your back towards. Like, just literally that. He killed Doom in one turn, in one run, because he just like went into with some just random group. I'm like, just don't worry about it. It was so funny. But like, yeah, it helps that dude's an actual very good gamer. And also an absolute maniac, because that man walked into that fucking game and within a year he was fully legendary. Like, the only thing that wasn't legendary were the runes and sigils. He had a legendary armor, legendary weapons, rings, fucking raid ring, World vs. World ring, both of the earrings, pack piece. Because like, where do I get the back piece? Well, you can do it in World vs. World, which is gonna take you a lot of time because of this, or you can do it through fractals, kind of week by week, but also it's gonna get you a lot of money. They're like, all right, fractals it is. Just bam. I'm like, I've never seen a person just torch his way through the fucking game like that. The man left nothing but ruins behind him. It was so funny. take a break. I got a bit of a headache. So, on that note, thank you all for being here.